Hi, I'm making this video to hopefully help out some new street preachers or maybe some seasoned street preachers that have just had bad experiences with police officers, especially at these street festivals. We preach a lot out at public events and these street festivals where they have the permit to set up their festival. And I've seen a lot of videos where street preachers get kicked out of street festivals that are free and open to the public because of the permit issue, and it doesn't need to be so. You don't need to be kicked out. You just need to have the right information with you, and you can win these cases. I've won time after time, praise God, with His power, because I know the laws ahead of time. I have them written down, and here's a good game plan. If you do go out to these street festivals, maybe it's a gay pride festival out in the public, maybe it's an apple festival, a strawberry festival, whatever you might have in your town, you're going out there. There are two different types of permits that these people can have. There is an exclusive permit. Now, an exclusive permit is for an event that is by invitation only. It's closed off to the public. It usually has fencing around it. You can't get in except for maybe through one gate, and it's by admission only. We have a beer festival in our town that it's all fenced in, and you have to pay whatever, $25 for a ticket just to get in. That's an exclusive permit. I can't go inside that fencing without them having the ability to make me leave if they want to, because that is closed off to the general public, and it is by invitation only or by paid admission, mostly by paid admission. What we're mostly dealing with out on the streets in our street preaching at these street festivals, they do have a permit, but it's a non-exclusive permit. You need to learn these terms. You need to learn when the police come over to you and say, they have the permit, so you have to leave. I've seen too many street preachers just fold up and go because they don't have anywhere to go after that. You need to let them know, no sir, what they have is called a non-exclusive permit. And the non-exclusive permit, it gives the event the right to do things like close off traffic, close off the public street, to set up their booths and displays, to sell items, to use their stage, to have amplified sound, etc., etc. So their non-exclusive permit does give them those rights. But if the event is free and open to the public and on a public streets and public sidewalks, that by default is a non-exclusive permit. And what that means is all the rights that I had to stand on that sidewalk on Tuesday afternoon and preach when there was nothing going on are my exact same rights that I have on that Saturday afternoon when the event is in full swing. Most police are unaware of this. They're just trying to make the event coordinator happy. So know these terms: exclusive permit versus non-exclusive permit. Typically, we're dealing with a non-exclusive permit, and you have every right to be there, just like you did a few days beforehand to stand on that sidewalk. Now, a few different rules, and I'm just hoping this is helpful to you. I've just learned through my own hard experience, so hopefully I can save you some trouble. First off, do not deal with event coordinators. Event coordinators have no power and no authority over you whatsoever. All an event coordinator is from that event is just an average citizen with a t-shirt and a clipboard. Now, the really powerful ones will have a walkie-talkie also, but that's all they are. They're no different than you telling someone else that they can't be on a public sidewalk. I used to try to deal with them. I used to try to talk with them, explain the laws, etc., etc. It's just a waste of time. It just strengthens their resolve to get rid of you. So now, this may sound cold and callous, but my approach now is if I'm preaching and they come up, I just keep on preaching till they walk away. If I'm not preaching when they come up to me and start telling me I have to leave, I usually have sunglasses on at these events. I just stay behind my sunglasses and I just stare off into the distance, and I literally do not even acknowledge that there's a human being there talking to me. After a couple minutes, they get very frustrated that you don't acquiesce to their power, and they'll go away. About a third of the time, that'll be the last you'll ever hear of it. Just disregard the event coordinator, ignore them, treat them as if there's not even a human being standing in front of you. I know that you're going to think that's callous, but But like I said, about a third of the time, you'll never hear from anybody else again. You just go on preaching the rest of the day. About 2/3 of the time, they'll go get security or they'll go get a police officer. If it's event security, again, all that is just a hired, just a rent-a-cop. They have no power and no authority. You tell event security to go get a police officer. Police officers are the only ones that you deal with. When the police officer comes over, a few good pieces of advice. First, remove your sunglasses. If you're wearing sunglasses, remove your sunglasses, put down any amplifier or whatever you have. Make sure that they can see your eye contact, have eye contact, so you're not hiding behind sunglasses. Always record everything. Try to keep an eye out, and if you see a police officer walking your way at this event, turn that camera on, get that camera on. I like to I don't have a GoPro on a pole or anything, I have a handheld camera. I like to hand my camera to someone close by. I tell them ahead of time, hey, if a cop comes, I'm going to hand you the camera, it's already recording. So I hand the camera to someone else, that way I'm not sticking a camera right in the policeman's face, and that's very awkward. So again, remove your sunglasses, make eye contact. Be very calm and professional. Think about what the cop is seeing. I mean, frankly, guys, we look like kooks. You've got all these, these events that have shootings and bombings and all stabbings and people driving cars through festivals and stuff. I mean, there's crazy people out there that'll kill people at festivals. Understand from the policeman's viewpoint, we look like a bunch of kooks. They don't know if we're some maniacal killer. So show them. I'm a rational person who is making eye contact. I'm calm. I'm not upset. I'm professional sounding. So deal with them very, very professionally. Get their name, use their name, and record. But let them understand immediately you are not a crazed lunatic that they need to worry about. Talk kindly and respectfully. Explain to the police officer the two types of permits, because they're always just going to use the word permit. Well, they have a permit. Explain to him calmly the two types of permits and have paperwork. I always have my paperwork with me, always, every time I preach, that has all these court cases about, one after another about how just because someone's offended doesn't mean we have to stop preaching, or just because someone's getting angry and violent and that there might be a fight or there might be a disturbance, that they have to silence us. No, their job is to allow the free speech and to take care of the person who's getting angry, who's getting violent. You can always tell with security or with a police officer, they know who the real threats are once these events get going, because whoever they're facing is the one they know is the threat. And when we go out and preach at these events, you can tell the police officer has his back to us. Once the thing gets up and going, the police officer will have their back to us and they'll face the crowd. Why? Because they know if there's going to be any violence, it's going to come from the crowd and that we're no threat at all. A cop doesn't turn his back onto something he believes is the serious threat. So like I said, make them realize and show them court cases, not just your opinion, but show them case after case after case. And this can be intimidating to a police officer. Show them case after case of settled law where because someone's offended, that doesn't give them the right to shut us down. Because someone might get violent or push us, that doesn't give them the right to make us leave. But the one I used in the video you're about to see was regarding the exclusive versus non-exclusive permit, and how at a public event, a street festival that's on public property with a non-exclusive permit, we have every right to be there to do what we're doing. And if you want to look it up, don't contact me about all these. Be a grown-up. Find these for yourself. They're easy to find. You could actually, my friend Brian at BibleBrian.com has a whole list of different laws, case laws that have already been settled. You could print that out. Again, that's BibleBrian.com. You could go there and print out some of the cases that he has already written down for you. But I will give you this one, the one that won it for me in this video coming up, and it was Parks versus City of Columbus, Sixth Circuit Court, 2005. Again, that's Parks, P-A-R-K-S, Parks versus City of Columbus, Sixth Circuit Court, 2005. And this is one of the best I've ever found about the fact that that just because this street festival has a permit does not change our rights to be there street preaching and passing out information. So show them the case law. If the police officer is unwilling, sometimes you're going to get a cop that doesn't care about what the laws are. I've had it many a times. Some cops think because they have the gun and the badge, they get to do whatever they want. Immediately ask for their supervisor. They are required to get their supervisor if you request that, and if that supervisor is at all available. So ask for their supervisor. If in the end they don't care about all the case law, they don't care, sometimes you're totally right, you have everything on your side, and they'll still make you leave just because they have a gun and a badge. If that's the case, get the police officer's name, record it, get the police officer's name, get the police officer's badge number, and ask him, will I be arrested? Will I be arrested if I do not leave? Get them to say yes. Once they say yes, leave, because you're just going to get arrested, and then it's going to be a big, expensive, time-consuming nightmare. Go ahead and leave, because you're not going to win, and then you can sue the city after that. But if you get arrested, realize that you're going to have to go through the cost, the time, the hassle of settling your criminal case before you can ever bring the civil case to trial. And the city could just drag it out for a couple years. So like I said, sometimes you just can't win because you got some cop with a badge and an attitude. But like I said, most of the time, in most cases, I've been able to win these just by explaining the non-exclusive permit and by showing them the case law. And let's see here. Let's see, be prepared. Okay, so that's about it. So that should give you, that should allow you to win most of these cases. And like I said, it might take a little practice, but be prepared. Keep your eye out for the cop when they're coming. Get that camera rolling. Hand it to someone else. Have these case laws printed out. Maybe put them in plastic or something. Keep them with you. Have them handy. Know what they are. Have things, the important stuff highlighted. And God bless you, and best wishes on keeping the preaching. That's what it's all about. Keep the preaching going, and you can win. And this video will show you a good example of how exactly what I said occurred. And the great police officer, Officer Hill in Asheville, North Carolina, did his job properly. And I wish he would have come back at the end and said you were right, you can keep preaching. After two different visits from the police officer, eventually I just never saw him anymore. So he knew we were right. Apparently he didn't want to come back and tell us that. But enjoy the video, and I hope this is a help. And
How are y'all?
hey, good. How are you? Good. Steve. Here. Steve, here.
Sir, can you come over?
Sorry, recording.
They've already got a permit for the event here, so that includes everything that's inside the barricade. So if we can just get y'all to step right outside the barricade there, then you're good to go. Okay?
Josh Hill. Okay. Officer, we've been here probably 8 years minimum. We've already gone through this several times. Gone through this years ago. Gone through this. There are two different types of permit. There's an exclusive and there's a non-exclusive permit. What this event has is called a non-exclusive permit. An exclusive permit would allow them to tell us we have to go outside of the event. The exclusive permit is a permit where the entire event is blocked off, and it's by admission only, or by paid admission, or by invitation only. That's not what this event is. This event is called non-exclusive. It's free and it's open to the public. So their permit allows them to set up booths, use the stage, block traffic, and have their event. But the non-exclusive permit does not change our rights in any way. The right I had to stand here on Tuesday afternoon is the exact same right I have to stand here on Saturday. I can give you a court case that verifies this. It's already gone through the courts. Let's see here. This is the Supreme Court let's see, the Sixth Circuit Court said that streets upon which demonstrators wish to exercise his First Amendment rights by distributing literature, preaching, and displaying a religious message remained a traditional public forum, notwithstanding a non-exclusive block party permit issued to a private organization to hold an art festival from which the demonstrator was excluded. In any collective message of the permit holder, demonstrator was seeking general access to the public property and was not seeking to be included in any collective message of a permit holder, and in fact was merely another attendee of the festival, which was open to the community at large. That's Parks versus City of Columbus, 2005. So that's the Sixth Circuit Court of Columbus, Ohio. It's already been determined there are many, many other cases. So if you would actually verify, which I've had Asheville police officer do in years past, we discussed the exact same thing. He actually did that job properly, and he went and studied the permit. If you study the permit that the Blue Ridge Pride has, you'll discover that it's a non-exclusive permit, and any rights that we had on public sidewalks and streets before the event happened are the exact same rights that we have during it. I've been here like 8 years. We've already had this verified. It's the exact same festival, and we've already had this verified through other police officers. And I appreciate it. We've always worked very well with Asheville police officers, and I really commended him. I forget, it's probably been 6 years or so since that happened. We've stood over.
So you guys are usually over, I think you guys were over there last year.
Usually we have enough people that we're in two groups, and usually half of us will be by that lamp post or right here, and the other half will be over on another sidewalk.
Yeah.
But both are the same. But we were actually, the first year I was here was the year that actually, it was one of the first years we were here, was actually the year that they said we had to be across the street, even when we were standing over at that other spot you mentioned. They said we had to be across the street even from that. And when they looked it up, it took them a while, but they took about 20, 30 minutes, and I forget the officer's name, it's been many years, but when they looked it up, like I said, the non-exclusive permit actually dictates that, because now we're not even, technically, if we want to, since this is a public park, we could go in. We're not trying to be rude or block traffic.
Let me look up some things real quick.
Okay, but like I said, my name's Buddy, and but like I said, there are different types of permits, and if it was a paid event, and we've preached some paid events, and we have to stay outside the fence, but because it's free and open to the public, the rights that I had on this sidewalk on Tuesday are the same I have. It's a non-exclusive permit. Okay. Being free and open to the public dictates that it is a non-exclusive permit. Thank you, officer.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
And right now, you're not willing to go on the other side of the barricade.
Well, not right now. Like I said, we obey all laws.
I
Law-abiding citizens. We do. But we want to have the best. We want to maintain. We don't want to set a precedent where we're not allowed inside the event. Like I said, we've done this many years, and we only had one other time where a police officer did say to move out, and when they did take the time to look it up, they actually did side in our favor. Based on the fact that it is free and open to the public, by default makes that a non-exclusive permit. So
I'm just trying to watch out for the safety of everybody. Make sure no civil disturbance happens, nobody gets in a fight, nothing like that. We don't need anything like that today. So that's the only reason I'm asking right now. We're willing to stand on the other side of the barricades.
I prefer, as long as we're legally allowed to be here, but what we'll do is we're going to stay away from that ramp and stay out of the flow of traffic. We won't block the ramp in case there's any strollers or handicapped people.
I will appreciate that.
We're going to stay out of the flow of traffic. He's a few feet away from where the curb goes up to the level. We'll stay out. There's only 3 of us, so actually if there's going to be an issue, it's going to go again. It's going to be, it's 3 against whatever, 3,000 or something. So, and I appreciate if you would stay by, because the crowd, we've been here many years, and the crowd does tend to get a little out of hand.
They don't like you,
When you tell someone that what they're doing is against God's law, it's naturally going to be.
We can't stand by right now.
Yeah, well, that's
patrol. We're not assigned.
I'm just saying that you're more than welcome to stay near us and everything.
If I could just, and I see that
Cowards,
I
huh?
see your
You guys are
case
cowards.
on. I've never seen it.
yes.
That way I can show my supervisor what it is that you have.
Yes. And thank you for actually doing this. Many times, I've gone to many towns, and sometimes you'll have an officer, that says, "Hey, I have a gun and a badge," and what I say goes. So I appreciate that you're taking the time to do this.
So show me what your side is.
Seen the meme of yourself online at the Vance Monument yet, girl?
The meme?
Yeah. Like you're sitting there and you just kind of look like that.
It's
It cracked me up. I was like, you look familiar from that. I was like,
Yeah.
there's the gas.
it's talking to you.
Yeah, it's great talking to you.
It's 2005. I have other cases I didn't bring with me, but we've gone through the same with the city of Charlotte, at Taste of Charlotte, at Speed Street, at the Festival in Dearborn, Michigan, Festival everywhere from Bourbon Street to Florida. The issue is there are two different types of permits, and that's where the confusion comes in. If the event was by invitation only or by paid admission, then they would have the right to tell us if you have to stand outside. Well, like I said, we're not going to go set up by the stage or just be, ridiculous. Just stand there on the side. You know, if you need to speak with us, my name's Buddy, his name's Steve, and this is Jim.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, they've got some APD officers that are going to be doing security crew out here today. So they'll be roaming around, so you'll see a couple other different faces.
Well, most of the rest of it is about how usually we're shut down because people say, well, people are offended. So most of these, like I said, I have other case law with it at home. And most of these that I have in this pack are about people usually get shut down because, well, somebody was offended, so now you have to leave. You can't say that. So most of these are about the fact that just because someone finds something offensive doesn't mean they were. And a lot of these are the fact that a city street or a city sidewalk is public forum that's allowed for free speech, whether it's offensive or not. That's probably the best case, that one, that spells out if there's a festival permitted event. Like I said, we've gone through. We had attorneys deal with the city of Charlotte, with the city attorney and the city manager and the police of Charlotte for Taste of Charlotte Festival. Where we were on the sidewalk and also Speed Street in Charlotte, and we've won both of those cases as well. So, like I said, because it's free and open to the public, it allows us to still do it.
All right. Thank you, and I'll let you know if I know any further.
Thank you. I appreciate that you've done this. It's very rare that you take the time, so I appreciate that.